Hi, this time our group gonna discuss a woman. She is Dora Moono, and she was passed away on the Christmas Day. And before we discuss her death, I'm gonna introduce her. Who is she? And Dora Moono, she is a Zambian educator, humanitarian, and advocate for vulnerable children. She grew up in Zambia, deeply influenced by her culture, heritage, and the close-knit values of the rural communities. Her upbringing in a region with limited access to quality education instilled in her a profound sense of empathy and determination to create change. And Dora's character and career path were shaped by her first-hand experience with the challenge faced by underprivileged children, particularly orphans. A difficult moment in her life was her decision to leave urban comfort and dedicate herself to building a school in a rural village. Despite financial and logistical hurdles, she persevered, driven by her mission to provide education and help the children in need. Her work has since expanded into broader community development, inspiring many to recognize the transformative power of education and compassion. Dora's journey stands as a testament to resilience and the impact one person can have on an entire community. Okay.
So, continuing from what Chris said, I will talk about her accomplishments. So, one of her most notable achievements was her never-ending efforts to improve education and opportunities for children in rural Zambia. She founded Footprints of Hope, which is a nonprofit organization that built and operated a school, providing education to hundreds of children they need. So her work also extended beyond education. She was helping women and advocate for women's empowerment and community development. She actively promoted initiatives to provide resources for women, helping them gain financial independence and develop leadership skills. So she would save them from abusive marriages, aided with abortions, and saved or attempted to put a stop to children marriages where families would sell their children to men. Through her social media platforms, Dora shared her journey, raising awareness about the challenges faced by undis, yeah, communities. So she used her voice to garner international support and donations. And with this, she was able to foster over 300 different children. So she would also refer to herself as the mother of 300 different people, offering them education, shelter, and care. Her ability to inspire action in others and mobilize resources made her a true change maker. So Laura's accomplishments were not just in the programs she built, but also in the hope and opportunities that she gave to countless individuals. Moving on.
Okay, and I'll be talking about the timeline of Dora's activities from October to December 2024, the last few months of her life before she suddenly passed away on December 26. So, as Mama and Chris mentioned before, she was really committed to her mission of supporting children. In October 2024, Dora continued her work with Footprints of Hope. It is the school she built for children at risk, especially young girls in danger of early marriage. She used social media, mainly TikTok. Later, she also started posting on Instagram to show what the school and kids needed. In her videos, she regularly shared how she worked to get things like books, food, and clothes for the children. Sometimes she'd even open packages from her followers on camera, and she definitely makes sure to include real updates showing literally everything, every bit of help, and even the kids' real reaction. so it always felt authentic and personal. By November, Dora started highlighting the urgent need for the new school bus. She posted videos showing the old bus, which was no longer set for the children. And in her post, she explained the situation and asked for donation to support the funds for a new one. By December, Nora was dealing with some kind of tough stuffs. She had broken leg, but that also didn't stop her. And even though she couldn't walk, she kept posting on social media and she was smiling, still being very positive. And she was sharing updates about the school and the bus project. She was still helping to get more money for this bus so she could afford this. And in one of her last posts, she talked about being accused of witchcraft by some villagers. Even though it's kind of a serious accusation, she made this video in a funny way with a trending music. And that shows that she tried to be positive all the time on her videos. But it seems that her work really started taking a toll on her health. Managing the school and all of the responsibilities that came with it put a lot of pressure on her, both physically and mentally. She didn't really talk about it much, but some people close to her noticed that she seems exhausted and unwell in her final months, and that may have contributed to her sudden passing. But Dora remained active until Christmas night when she drove herself to the hospital, and then she tragically passed away early on December 26th. And that shocked her community and followers, which is like 4 million right now on TikTok. Lastly, I want to mention that Dora's work with Footprints of Hope is still making a difference. She opened safe schools in 4 villages and helped over 500 kids, getting them out of the harmful situations like abuse and child labor. And I would like to mention that she didn't just help those children escape, but also she made sure that their abusers would stay in prison. She also rescued many girls from early marriage, as I mentioned before, and she gave them a chance to stay in school and build a better future. And also, her fight for children's rights and education has inspired a lot of people to continue her mission. And that's it for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the speculation of her death. So there are currently 3 types. The first one is lost to because of low blood pressure. It's the most official one. And about her friends, her friends think that she got maybe murdered, maybe poisoned because of what she was doing. Because like in Africa, there are still many people who really are very traditional, and they claim that the acts that she do ruins the culture. And the third one is because of her leg injury. Maybe there was like some bad symptoms really causing her. But like to me, as I read, like because as Doshia mentioned, she drove herself to the hospital like by herself. Logically, like a normal person, if you feel ill, you might not drove yourself to the hospital and like you die in the next morning. I I believe that she might be got poisoned by like because maybe a lot of traditional people they team up together just like to poison her to get her out because she like maybe ruins their traditional culture or something like that. So this is my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
Okay, so for me, since I've been following her since 2020, so I've been a loyal follower. I do think that because she mentioned, based off her previous work, she's always been like, if anything happens to her, we know what happened. Because, taking children away from the family that sold them and everything, like she's basically insinuating that this could have happened to her well, the family could have done this to her. So that's what I believe in. But what about you, Sosia?
Okay, so I didn't know her before, but recently I started watching her videos, and when I look at her, she looked very healthy to me. And as I mentioned before, she was sharing everything with her followers. So I think if she felt unwell, she would notify us, like her followers. But on the other hand, I was reading some comments and people were saying, okay, but she had broken leg, maybe she got some sepsis or something. So I don't know, that feels quite weird still.
So I kind of agreed what Mimi say because because I don't know her very much, but in Africa, in that culture, perhaps her action have affect many local employers who relied on child labor and causing them has a economy loss or something like that. That's why she was murdered. Okay, thank you.